So we've talked about just reassessing every 6 months, reassessing, is this what we want to continue doing? Do we want to change this? And that's kind of what our goal is right now. So for our first 6 months of travel, the first 6 months will take us back here to Texas, which is kind of home base for us. And we will reassess again kind of at Christmas. Just if this is what we want to continue doing. The plan is 2 years. But if the kids are really not into it, or if my wife is really not into it, I'm not into it at that point, then we'll totally reassess and make some changes. It's one of the things with this lifestyle, I feel like is you can make those adjustments. It doesn't have to be permanent, but it allows us that opportunity to get out and explore, do things that we otherwise
What he did, he said you're an animal now. So on God, they know if she's out or not. They're hers right there. She don't want that boy inside of her.
That's just the proof that a lot of people get stuck in that routine. And you do the same things. You take the same vacation every year because you get 2 weeks off. And 2 weeks is not a lot every year to spend with your kids in their young stages. So that's kind of the plan we've got now, is to go around 2 weeks per state. All right, so that's it for this level of bus, the second level of bus. Let's go ahead and set the ladder up. So let's go ahead and up here on the roof of the bus, we have our deck. This is really just an area we like to and when we're driving, these rails are down, and it makes us 13.5 foot tall, so we have no problem driving it. But when we get where we're going, we put up the rails and the kids can come up here and hang out. They love hanging out up here. We do movie nights up here quite a bit. Kids like lying around in the hammocks or in the trippy outdoor chairs that we use. This is just really just kind of more of a private outdoor space for us. We don't have any slide outs or anything like that on the bus, and so this kind of gives us that little bit of extra space that we need. And it's kind of a cool space because we're up so high. And we've also got our solar panels front and back. We've got 4 355 solar panels, so they work really well for us and get us some power when we're off grid. So one of the things about building this deck up here, the top of the bus is not reinforced, and it's actually really slippery as well if it was just the bus top. So we went ahead and we put down boat decking. It's just adhesive boat decking. It makes it so it's more anti-slip, and so it's got a little bit of a cushion, and it's not very thick. That was the other issue we saw when we see all these other schoolie builds that have like wood decking, and it was going to be too much. There wasn't enough space to put something like that up here. So this, faux decking, it's boat decking, and it comes in
Hey, I love y'all. This is my channel. I love my channel, y'all. Thank y'all for watching it. Thank y'all for subscribing.
And then the other thing we do, just for safety for the kids, when we come up here, it's usually I come up by myself through the front hatch, and then I'll come, I'll work my way through the solar panels and set up these rails. We set up the rails on either side. Those are held up by some gas shocks. And then we have, and we don't have them up right now, but normally we've got these rails down here that we then pick up and they actually pin into either side so that it makes it a lot more secure. We've got those front and back, and that just gives the kids a little bit better of area they know to stay in, and we're not having kids walk towards the front or back of the bus where they shouldn't be messing with solar panels and falling off the bus. All right, so here we are on the outside of the bus. We have a little bit more work to do on the outside. We're going to put graphics and stuff on it so it looks more like an RV, Class A RV, and less like a bus. One of the things we most recently did is we replaced all 8 tires on the bus. I actually did that yesterday. So not a cheap thing to do, but the tires that were on it had some sidewall cracking. They were 7, 8 years old, and when it comes to the safety of the family, there's nothing that no amount of money that would prevent me from doing that. So we went ahead and put the new tires on there. It's $10,000 worth of new tires, and all the way around we've got 8 new tires. So that's probably the biggest expense we've had on the exterior of the bus so far. We're going to redo this wrap. This gray wrap is really terrible job that's done on it. So we're going to redo all that and get the whole graphics going on here. We've got some seals and things to do as well. One thing that some people may notice is that our front tires and our back tires tires are the same, but these drive tires in the middle are different. So front and back are Michelin's, and they are 365 70R 22.5. But these center ones, these are the drive tires. These are actually Yokohama's, and that's just because the company that we bought the bus from before we did the build had converted the front and back. They'd already changed the size of tire. Michelin's the only one that makes this size of tire, so we went ahead and did that, and then the bus company had us do these, and we made sure that all the weight ratings are correct. The bus itself is just over 47,000 pounds. We weighed it, we weighed all three axles on the scales, and made sure that the tires are safe. And then we've also got an outdoor shower in this area here, as well as this is where we open up to get into our black tank. So we can drain everything from here. And just a big storage area that we've got back here. So all of our tanks are back here. Just anything that we need, all our storage, everything we carry along with us while we ride is back here in the storage area. And it doesn't have to be accessed through there. We can also access it through this door where we can just walk in to the bus. So
this used disposable underwear absorbs as much as 5 ultra-thin pads. Dare to sleep free.
So back here is where I say we can walk into the bus. We have our black water tank that sits up high, and then we've got our fresh water tank kind of in the middle, and our gray water tank down here a little lower. And the black water, 70 gallon, and then the other two are 75 gallons each. So it gives us kind of plenty of water as we go. We try to stay hooked up to water wherever we are, but if we're not, we've got plenty of water on board with us, and that works pretty well. The one tank that you don't see back here is actually our fuel tank, which is a 166 gallon diesel fuel tank. Common question we get is about the fuel mileage we get, and fully loaded, we're getting about 6.5 miles a gallon, depending on headwinds, right? I mean, if I'm getting a wind coming straight at us, we're obviously getting a lot less because it is a brick. But I mean, typically we're running about 6.5 miles a gallon. All right, over here on this side of the bus, this is really kind of our power bank, where we've got 8 Lithium Ion Batteries. These are from Energy. They're the Safari UT 1300 batteries. I think they're each 105 amp hours. And so carrying all this back here, and we've got our 6,000 watt inverter.
Shit, breaking on my nerve.
Back here, we do carry a generator with us just in case, but we've never had to use it, and I don't expect we really ever will. But I didn't want to be without that if we really got into a situation where we needed it. So this is kind of where all our solar comes in, and this is what powers our bus. When we're stopped at any place, we just hook up to shore power, 50 amp shore power, and then we've also got our water hookups here. And back in here, you would see we've got a 20-gallon residential hot water heater. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are interested in those travels and in our team. Obviously, a big part of this is to also inspire others to get out there, maybe take that leap, that huge risk in your life. If it's worth it. You know, that I never set foot in an RV before doing this, so it's totally new life to me. But I think the reward is well worth the risk that we've taken. And so, you know, if anybody wants to follow along on our journey and see the things that we're up to and the activities we're doing and the parks we're visiting, the hikes we're going on, anybody can follow us across social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, anything. We go by Double Decker Family or Double Decker Fam. We also have a website that has nothing to do with our travels at this point. We'll probably put stuff on there, but it's just DBLDKR, so that's the Double Decker. The same as our license plate. We've got that website that we just, ultimately it's a blog with a whole bunch of troubleshooting stuff for different appliances and whatever, but we will at some point start blogging about our travels. So across the board, if somebody wants to follow us, that's where to find us. But we'll be out on the road. We typically are going to be posting, obviously, for the safety of our kids, safety of our family. we're going to be posting delayed. It's not like if you see a video, it's probably not going to be from today. It's going to be 4 or 6 weeks delayed, and that's just for the safety of our kids. But certainly, if we roll into your RV park, if we roll into town and you see us, don't be afraid to come say hi. We're definitely up for meeting people and sharing our adventures with you. So any questions you have, feel free to ask here on this channel or visit one of our channels and ask us any questions that you've got. We're happy to answer them.
I'm LaCroix, my wife Sylvie, and this is our bus, named the LaCroix Cruiser. The 1995 MCI 102 DL3. It's 45 feet long, 8.5 feet wide, 13 feet tall, and it's got 1.1 million miles on it. So, nice little happy home for us. Walking inside our bus and to our living room. Now, we're a slightly older couple than most people in buses, and we like our comfort. To do that, we started off with a nice sofa, and it's not only a sofa, it's a recliner as well. It allows us to lounge in comfort. We have a little fireplace in front of us. These two benches serve as benches to sit to converse with other people, but they also move over to the table to extend the table benches and to make another bed when we have guests over. The other aspect of our living room is we have these beautiful big windows. We don't have a television. Well, we do, sort of. We have a screen that pops down, and over on the other side, we have a projector. It gives us a nice big screen without the weight of a television, without blocking the view that a normal television would do. Also in our living room, we have storage all the way down the sides. So they're nice, easy cabinets to get into. They have the little struts to hold them up. And inside the cabinets is our wiring. We don't have any wires in the walls anywhere in the bus. All the wiring is surface mounted, in tracks, hidden in places. You don't see it, but it's all in plain sight. The lighting that we have is on a track that we made, and this is also a wiring chase, front to back of the bus. We have lighting in here that we can change the color of, change the color of that one as well, and we have lighting on this side as well. So we can change the mood inside the bus as we see fit. We have cellular blinds that pop up inside the cabinets. Close it off, giving us a nice thermal break as well as blocking the light. So they're full blocking blinds. Our flooring is a heated floor, so we have it's vinyl plank flooring. And underneath it, we have runs of glycol, keeping us nice and warm. Colder weather. In warmer weather, we have a mini split air conditioning. We have one at the front, one at the back. They also can provide heat if we need to. Everything in the bus is run off of solar. We have a generator. We've been in the bus 1.5 years, and it has 49 hours on it. So it's not a generator that's run a lot. We use it mostly for powering our block heater on the engine when we want to start the engine when it's cold outside. The solar we have 4,100 watts on the roof. We have 21,000 watt-hour batteries, which gives us a lot of autonomy. The solar, normally by 9, 10 in the morning, everything is charged up, and we can run both mini splits. We can cook anything we want, and we're just not running off the batteries. We're running off the solar. Welcome to our kitchen. Our kitchen, for us, is a very important part of the bus, and it takes up a good amount of size. We love to cook, we love to eat, we love to entertain. So we do as much as we can in the kitchen. On this side, we have our main kitchen countertop. The countertop material, the table, everything is acacia, which is a imported hardwood. The drawers are all IKEA. So all the cabinets, all the lower cabinets are IKEA. In the we chose IKEA. I'm a cabinet maker by trade. I've been doing cabinets for a number of years. This cost me less than cabinets I can build myself in terms of the materials, the hardware. They have a good warranty. They even warranty it in a bus, which is odd. And the other thing is, this is going down the road. Every mile is an earthquake. You have to build everything in your bus as if it was surviving an earthquake every day. Even though it's got a nice, cushy air ride, it's still shaking around a little bit. So by having very solid cabinetry, very solid drawer slides, etc., gives us a nice layout. The sink, we like the look of the big farmhouse sinks and all that, but they take up a lot of space and they take up a lot of water. So we went with the smallest sink we could that would fit our largest pot. That way, when we do the dishes, we don't use a lot of water trying to fill a big sink. On the other side of the kitchen, we have our dine-in table. Seats two very comfortably. It's 36 inches wide. And we can take the benches from the living room, put them here. We have this that slides out, a leaf that drops in, and now we have a 54-inch wide table, which just happens to go down to make it a 54-inch wide bed. So standard size bed for a double bed. So if you have guests over, you have a comfortable place to sleep. The cushions are actually made out of a mattress, so they're nice and comfortable as well. And we have storage in the benches. This bench here is our battery bank. So we have 12 138 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're housed in there in a nice metal rack. They're not going anywhere. They're nice and safe. This one is open storage. Gives us a lot of little storage for stuff we don't access every day. Above me, a max fan. We have two in the bus, one here, one in the bathroom. This one serves as a fan while we're cooking. That way, we don't have too many fumes inside the bus, and also provides great ventilation when the outside air is a comfortable temperature. Back to the road side of the bus, we have our 3-burner cooktop. It's propane. We had an induction cooktop, didn't like it. We went back to propane. Yes, we have to carry another fuel. We don't mind. All the overhead cabinets flip up with the hinges, so they stay up nicely. And when we're going down the road, they stay locked by themselves. We have a 15 cubic foot refrigerator. It's a household refrigerator. It's well bolted in, and it's what's called a counter depth fridge, so it fits through the door. Very important for us. When we bought the bus, it had a fridge in it already that we had to take out through the windshield because it wouldn't fit through the door. Not something we wanted to experience again. And it's an inverter type fridge, meaning the compressor actually never stops. But the maximum it can draw is 2.2 amps, so very efficient. Actually more efficient than most 12-volt fridges, even though it's on 110 and we're going through an inverter. So inside our appliance garage, we have the microwave, little Breville stove, the coffee maker, the Ninja air fryer, and the Berkey. Everybody has to have a Berkey. Up here we have just additional storage. We don't have any little appliances that fit up there, so just additional storage there. We have our thermostat here that controls the heating system. So we have, as I mentioned before, in-floor heating, and also we have little heat exchangers throughout the bus that are controlled in the thermostat in the front area of the bus. We have 4 zones, 4 thermostatically controlled zones, so zone the temperature as we wish. Under here, again, large drawers that are full length, and something that we forgot in our first 2 buses was a place to put the garbage. So now we have a place to put the garbage and the recycling. The backsplash is peel and stick tiles. It looks like glass, looks like metal, but just peel and stick tiles, really light, easy to change. And the day that we don't like the look of this, peel them off, start over again. Here we have a pull-out pantry. So we have 6 drawers here that work as a pantry with all sorts of goodies in them. So that's what we found to be more than enough for us.
You're ready for Untitled Chapter! Smash them to find over 30 dino surprises. Dig through sand and slime to build your dino. Feed them the glowing eyeballs to light it up and watch the dino roar. Smashers Dino Island, new from Zero.
The reason we decided to live tiny was actually a change in career. I was working for a company in Memphis, Tennessee, and one year I accumulated 200 hotel cards, which was a very difficult situation for a couple to live. I was always gone. Sylvie was running our business in Quebec, and it was not a fun time. Spoke to the owner of the company, said, look, I have a tour bus, why don't I use it as a tour bus? And that way Sylvie was able to come with me, we sold our business, and that's when we started full-time on the road. The transition from home to bus was actually very simple. We've been part-timing the bus for a little while. We had about a 2,000 square foot house, so downsizing that aspect to the 320 square foot of the bus was a little challenging. Yeah, we'll put it that way. So we had a storage locker for a while, and when you go back to the storage locker, you realize, I haven't needed this stuff in 6 months. Why do I need it? So the full-time of the bus has allowed us to minimize our footprint in the world, and at the same time, it's a lot simpler life. It's more fun, it's more relaxing. We don't have to worry about maintaining a house, we don't have to worry about snow plowing, we don't have to worry about cutting the lawn, we don't have to worry about taxes and heating and all that. Everything's self-contained in the bus. Wherever we park is home. When the blinds are down, we're home. Some mornings we wake up in a Walmart parking lot, some mornings we wake up beside a lake, and some mornings we wake up in an industrial complex. It doesn't really matter, we're home anyways. Welcome to our bathroom. In our bathroom, it's actually quite a big room in the bus. It's 8 feet by 8 feet. So we didn't spare the space in the bathroom. One, be comfortable for one. Second, we don't have an aisleway. So the bathroom in itself is the aisleway to get to the bedroom. Since it's just the two of us in the bus, privacy really isn't a big concern. So we have a door here to close off the front half of the bus, but between the bedroom and the bathroom, there's no door. We went with a flush toilet. We have a 135-gallon wastewater tank, and we don't have a gray or black tank. We have a combined waste tank. That allows us for easy flushing out of the tank. There's never any blockages, things like that. And we have 125 gallons of fresh water, meaning that we have a little extra buffer there that will never overfill our waste tank. If we run out of water, it's time to empty the other one. So when one is full, the other one's empty. When one is empty, the other one's full. Also in the bathroom, continuing the theme, lots of storage. We have space for a lot of stuff at the top and the bottom. We have a nice little surface-mounted sink. We found it at Menards, great little store. If you're in the Midwest, my favorite hardware store. On this side, we have a 36-inch shower, big enough to get in and move around, not hitting the walls all the time as you're trying to rinse off. We have a low-flow shower head, so we're not using a lot of water. Our 125 gallons of fresh water gives us between 2 and 3 weeks of autonomy. So very easy to go and boondock for 2 weeks and not have to worry about the water, not have to worry about the waste tank. And as we're driving by a place that has a waste tank, they always have to fill. We don't drink from the tank, we have the Berkey for that, so we don't have to worry about the quality of the water too much. Other things about our bathroom, it looks like ceramic tile, it feels like ceramic tile, but it's vinyl tile. They're made by Armstrong, they're an industrial flooring tile. They require grout, they're glued just like a ceramic tile, but they're flexible. So we've never had a problem. We've had the same tiles in our previous bus and never had any issues with one coming off, one moving. The grout stays a flexible grout, so it doesn't move around either. And here we have.
How much is a lawyer allowed to sue
Don't
for
use it much,
if it's
but when we need it, it's
$100,000
fun to have.
case?
Above is the electrical nerve center of the bus, and below, a place for dirty laundry. Again, something we missed in our previous buses. We didn't have a place for the garbage can really, and we didn't have a place for dirty laundry. Now we have a place for the dirty laundry. Above here, we have our control that tells us what's happening with our batteries percentage-wise. Our solar is divided into 4 separate groups on the roof with 4 separate charge controllers, so we know what each one is doing. And we have 2 4,000 watt inverters, 2 4,000 watt inverters, each have their own control. Welcome to my office, that also happens to be our bedroom. This table folds up, and this Murphy bed folds down. It allows me to record videos for my one of our YouTube channels, and at the same time, place to work. It's wide enough that we can both work on it if we need to. On the floor, you'll notice the square that's limited by the aluminum there. That is for engine access. And a lot of times in a rear engine coach, people forget to leave the engine access. When we bought this bus, that was not accessible. When we bought our previous bus, it wasn't accessible. we left it very accessible. And the closet as well, the doors, we can lift off and take them off, and there's another engine access here and there. So we have great access to the engine if we need it. Hopefully we never do. Contrary to most couples, I'm the one with all the clothes, not Sylvie. I wear suits all the time, so we have suits and shirts and stuff in here. The closet is the part of the bus we haven't really finished yet. We haven't decided what we're doing with it, so we don't have shelving, we don't have fun stuff in there yet. We just have a rod and we're hanging the clothes for now. We have a second mini split in the bedroom. This way, when we need to conserve power, we can zone the front with the back and just cool
Hey,
here when we're working.
don't forget
sleeping in
tomorrow
the
I need
bedroom.
you to
We don't need to cool this the rest of the
go
time.
get a copy of this
As far
paper.
as heat,
This
we have our own
paper
heat exchanger
tomorrow.
thermostat in this room. So our hydronic heating system provides the heat when we need to, or we're on solar power and it's not that cold out, we can just use this. Other than the closet, it has two columns
get
on
ready
the
to
side
cook.
provide storage. We have storage for our
You can
phone.
wait till you're ready.
In the center here is actually our night table. So when we put the bed down, you'll see that this is access from the side, so a little night table. Put the bed down, we have the light that flips up. Now, time to go again. Front part of the bus, well, the driver and the passenger seat. Both important, we switch off driving every 2 hours or so. That way we're both relaxed, comfortable, and some days we drive quite a long distance, so it allows us to be comfortable. And when I'm doing consulting on the phone, I can sit quietly, put my earphones in, and I can talk to my customers as Sylvia is driving, and vice versa. This behind the driver is our coat closet. And inside of here we have hooks, we can hang our coats. We have a nice space to keep them, they're not laying around the bus when we're coming in and out. The rest of this is factory from NCI. And the factory gauges from NCI are basically in dark little holes where you don't see the gauges. So we have an additional gauge system called a Blue Fire that is connected to the ECM of the bus, and it tells us everything we need to know going down the road. And we just go through our phone, we just put the phone there, it gives us all the important gauges, any warnings should something arrive. We also have power blinds for privacy that come down. We position our rear view camera to act as a rear view mirror. So the camera is always on as we're driving, and it's in a location that's natural for a driver to look up to. It's where the rear view mirror is in our car, so it's a natural position to look up to. The radio system, we've done something a little differently. It's an Apple CarPlay, we use iPhones, but it's also Android. What this does,
Can you give me
switches
ice cream
here
and a
allows us
popsicle
to
right there?
zone
I'm sorry.
the speakers to where we want. So the driver has 4 speakers, the passenger has 4 speakers. We can switch it to have 4 speakers around the living room, so it's surround sound from the TV.
One of
Speakers in the bedroom and speakers
What kind of
outside
popsicle
the
is that?
basement. That way we can put the sound where we want to and have it comfortable. So when Sylvia's driving and talking on the phone, she's listening to her music, and I can quietly talk on the phone. There's enough separation there to make it comfortable. Another very important part of owning a bus is a tire pressure monitor.
Can try to take this down
It's
so
saved our life a couple
we
times. So we have a TST tire pressure monitoring system on all our wheels, including the off. So Sylvia and I teach detailers how to be entrepreneurs. And detailers, automotive detailing, they're very passionate about what they do. They love making cars shiny and look great and look new again. Unfortunately, they're not great business people. So our goal, now that we're semi-retired, is to go around, teach them how to be entrepreneurs, how to make their lives easier, better, more balanced. And so one day they can retire in their 50s as well. The other aspect, we have a couple YouTube channels. We have one that's called the Detailer's Business Academy, again, to transfer them from detailer to entrepreneur. And the one we have more fun with, though, is the Core User. So the whole build of this bus, we chronicled from day one, buying it to driving it from Arizona back to Quebec. Everything has been done, explained in English and in French on our YouTube channel, the Core User. of the nice things about a coach is all the under bay storage. Now for us, we mentioned before, we love to cook, and outside is no different than inside. So we had this nice little slide out here, and on it we have a barbecue, a griddle. The engineering isn't quite finished on it. The struts aren't strong enough, so we need different struts. So these are both propane, puts it up at a nice height, and gives us a nice, easy to cook on surface. We also have a smoker that pulls out. For the smoker, we like to keep further away from the bus, so we don't use it here. We pull it away from the bus because if our awning is open, the smoker underneath the awning is not a good situation. Next door down, more storage, and all our electrical system. So the electrical system is down here. We have our two 4,000 watt inverters. We have a Sterling DC charger. All our fuses, our breakers, our charge controllers, they're all on this wall, making it nice and easy to get to, easy to understand as well. All the wiring is simple to find, locate, and understand.
Hey, y'all, hit that like
On the
button.
ceiling of this, we have four 40 amp MPPT charge controllers. On this side,
Hit that like button.
breaker panels. One is controlled by the inverters, the other one is controlled by the shore power cord. And this is our shore power cord. You'll notice it's a little short. We have an extension cord that we plug in, should we be plugged into shore power somewhere, which is rare for us. This plug is what our generator drives. So we don't need a transfer switch. We're either plugged in to the generator, or we're plugged into our shore cord, which we can put out through this hole here. So very simple, nothing to break down, nothing to go wrong. You're either plugged in one place or the other. So the bus has a main power switch that we turn off every time we stop the bus. That keeps the main batteries from going down. Has nothing to do with the electrical system of the house. The two are very separated. The only thing that can control them or connect them together is the DC to DC charger. Other than that, there's nothing that connects them together. Last bay on the side is our toolbox. So we like to carry many tools with us, supplies, screws. The reason it slides out behind it is our generator, so we can pull it out 30 inches and get to the generator behind it. The generator is in its own box, completely insulated, so it doesn't make a lot of noise. These two pipes here are our exhaust system for our Oasis heating system and the generator. And they go up through the bus and out through the other little thing that's in here, and we have them scattered throughout the bus. These fire extinguishers, they're element fire extinguishers. This one will actually last 50 seconds. So this will outlast
You gotta have a bag of broccoli.
I want some carrots. Boil the carrots down. Put the carrots in the meat down. And the rest of them mashed potatoes.
We have our second mini
Carrot and
unit. This is the one for the bedroom, and it's on a swivel, so we can move it out to have access to
Gotta
the
do half and don't
Just like
fix
the
the whole
factory.
half
Here
of
we
it. You
have
gotta
our
let that boil
little
though.
engine that could, 12.7 liter Detroit diesel Series 60, and radiator on one
It's some
side,
more golly bread.
intercooler on the other
You
side.
got plenty of
Very
gas
simple
back
engine,
there,
in terms of diesel engines, easy to maintain,
Yeah, right.
they have a long life. This one only has 1.1 million miles on it, so we're good to go for a long time. So
All right, perfect.
the whole bus is covered in bed liner, and it's SEM Protex bed liner. It's the third bus we've done with it. We've done another one afterwards with friends. It's a very durable finish, easy to maintain, easy to keep clean. We can scratch up beside a branch here, scratch down the whole length of the bus, and just smile. We don't have to worry about it scratching. We teach automotive detailing for a living, and if this were painted with regular paint, we'd be polishing it probably every day and waxing it, keeping it clean. Whereas this, we can go 6 months without washing it, and it still looks good. So it's a very good bonus for us, because our OCD would take over if we didn't have the bed liner finish and we had a regular paint. On this side, more engine access. We have the muffler, the turbo is accessible through there. We have a junction box that's here for electrical, and the air filter. This is the other side of the bay with the toolbox, and this is where we keep our tools for teaching detailing. Also in this bay, we have our 125-gallon water fresh tank, 135-gallon waste tank, our generator, our Oasis heating system, and this is an insulated and heated bay. So the water, we don't have to worry about it freezing. It has its own thermostat, its own heater. It stays at roughly 50 degrees, so we don't have to worry about our detailing chemicals freezing either. Our water heater is located here. It's a propane electric Atwood water heater, which has a nice little feature to it. If you turn on both the propane and the electrical, it becomes an instant hot water heater. So it houses 10 gallons, which we wanted to use a lot more water than 10 gallons, which we haven't. But if we wanted to, we could turn both the electrical on through either the generator or shore power, and the propane and get instant hot water. We have a mini split for our living room, and our 2 propane tanks. Propane tanks, the regulator is there, and they feed the barbecue, the cooktop, and the water heater. This is the other side of our fun bay. We'll have the barbecue and everything. We ride recumbent trikes, so the 2 recumbent trikes are folded in here. We have an auxiliary compressor should you ever need it, and some spare oil, engine grease, things like that. This is the door you never want to open. This is the electrical system, the factory electrical system of the bus. It looks really complicated, but it's actually quite simple once you follow it through. And MCI has spectacular customer support. We call them 24/7, stuck on the side of the road. Even though the bus is almost 30 years old, we get roadside assistance, and we have tech help that will help us through this. We had a problem recently with a blown fuse that we tried to locate the fuse. Through their tech help, we were able to locate the fuse and get back on the road quite easily. So this is the bus electrical system. Like I said, it's the door you don't want to have to open. At the bottom, we have our air horns. Always fun when you get that little car cutting us off and trying to brake check us. The other thing is, we have a 5-gallon windshield washer fluid reservoir. We keep our grease gun here to keep the chassis moved up and make sure everything's working for the windshield. This is a D model bus, a 1.2 DL3. But you'll notice the front end is not from a DL3 if you know MCI buses. At some point in slides, we had an update kit to make it look like an E. So it has the headlights from an E and the front cap from an E to make it look like an E. It's also had a 10-inch roof raise, which was done back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they first converted it into an RV. So this is a fiberglass piece that is over the factory piece. We have our name etched in stainless steel and our logo that was designed by Nat Silver. So the name LaCroix Cruiser. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook under that name. If you're building a bus, consider safety. We go to a lot of bus events, and we see some buses that safety really isn't a major concern. They have a lot of loose things in the bus. They have heavy weights. Like
Hey
explosives
YouTube,
that
hit that like button, baby.
And you have to think of the G-forces involved if you're ever in an accident. You have to think that this bus is basically surviving.
I know I've been changed, but the angels that heaven sound my name. I know I've been changed because the angels that heaven sound my name.
So,
At Extreme, you know, when your internet works, your life works. So you just settle for support service. Get Extreme
Your mattress shouldn't jiggle.
Heaven sound my name. No, like this. I don't care. because heaven.